Now, another thing I want to talk about is log scale charts. This is very particular to cryptocurrency investing and trading. You see log scale charts a lot in the stock market or other markets, but there is a reason why you sometimes want to use it in cryptocurrencies. So what is a logarithmic price scale chart? It's, and this is the definition straight from Investopedia, a logarithmic price scale is plotted so that the prices in the scale are not positioned equidistantly. Okay. Instead, the scale is plotted in a way that two equal percentage points are plotted at the same vertical distance on the scale. For example, let's say we're looking at something like Bitcoin, BTC USD. I'm going to look at Bitfinex because they have a long historical data here. Look at this. I see here way back in 2014, prices were very low. In the beginning, they were like less than $100, and they went from $100 to 1,000. Now, going from 100 to 1,000 is $900 difference, but going from 100 to 1,000 is also 10x, right? Which is 1,000% return. So 1,000% is huge. Now look at this. When we went from 1,000, what's 1,000% from 1,000? It's 10,000. It's this much. This much of a move. Now, how is this move represented here? And actually here we had lower prices here. We had $70 and there's probably even lower prices that it went to. So going from 1,000 to 10,000 is also 10x. But look at how big this 10x is compared to this 10x. Why? Because these charts are positioned in dollar value distance. Example, from each point here, we have $1,000 different, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. But you know what? $1,000 going from 100 to 1,100 is not the same as $1,000 going from 10,000 to 11,000, because this $1,000 represents only 10% return. But this $1,000 represents 1,000% return. So what we want is a chart that looks at percentage, because when things have moved so much, the dollar value starts becoming meaningless. You know, it doesn't make sense. You're looking at something that went up $1,000 when it was $1 versus something that went $1,000 when it's $20,000. It's not the same. Okay. So what you have is log scale. So at the bottom here, and let me move this out of the way in case you're seeing my face. If you click on the log here, it's going to transform this chart from a regular price-based chart into a logarithmic price scaled chart. So I click on it, and now the chart is distant in terms of percentage. So the difference between here and here is the same thing as the difference between here and here in terms of percentage. Okay, and this is why you see here it goes from $170 to 200, so that's $30 difference. But here it goes from 16,000 to 20,000, because that's the same percentage as this. This $30 is equivalent to the same percentage as this $4,000. Okay, and this is great. Why? And there are some bad trades here, but you're gonna be able to see that, okay, well, you know what? Back in 2014, we did do crazy moves up like this. And then we went down. And then, when we had this huge pump in 2017, and then we had this huge crash in 2018, well, you can compare this and be like, well, you know what? This crash, well, it's not the end of the world. Look at this. It's not that big when you're looking in terms of percentage compared to what we've had before. So this happens. It's part of the investment in such a highly volatile asset class. Okay. And then this move up that we had, well, now that we're looking in percentage, it's not as crazy as we had before. And so it is something that happens. Okay. Because now we're looking at percentage, and then we can kind of see where we're moving now, and what is the potential profit that we can have, and we can see that in terms of percentage. So we can actually see that it's even more stable than before. The movements are less volatile, even though compared to other asset classes, this is hugely volatile. So if you are investing, or if you're looking at something that has moved by extreme amounts, looking at log scale charts is going to put things into perspective, and it's going to be helpful for you to try and see where something can go in either direction.